Maniac here. If my screen looks a little orange to you, it's because I had a crazy migraine yesterday from staring at my screen too long, and I think it was due to too much blue light. So I turned on a red light filter. I don't know how it's going to work on my recording, but this might be all reddish or it might be the right color. I have no idea. To me, it's red. Sorry if that drives you crazy, but yeah, man, I can't go down again, man. I can't go down again. All right, so today's video, we're going to be talking about Elos. I've just unlocked it. I've watched other people use it. Okay, so 90% of my information on this legacy is based on people that I've played against in Arena and other people using it. Not so great in Strife, though it does sort of work. And I've seen some Korean players post videos, and I don't understand what they're saying because I'm just a C+ student from America with American education. And but what I can infer is that there's a significant amount of damage that comes from this. So let's talk about the legacy and talk about the best way to use it. All right. I will say this, right? When legacies were released, there was a handful that were released at the time of the initial. Okay. Elpis was one of the originals, very strong. Myrrh, one of the originals, also pretty damn strong. Like, this is a great legacy for PvP. Immaculacy was another initial release legacy. Very good in raid. Very, very strong. Eternal Heart was also released, I think, as one of the initial legacies, and it's good. It's good. Some of the legacies that we got after the initial release, though, guys, like Antian Rune, and there's a couple that are not so great. They're just kind of like gimmicky, specific for one, right? So, long story short, I think that the initial release legacies were all pretty strong. And Elos, or however you say this, I think it's Elos, right? Elos, this is one of the ones that was off of the initial, and so, what I'm basically saying is there's a chance this is really freaking good. And based on what I've seen, it's supposed to be really freaking good. So let's just talk about it. Right? Deals physical normal damage equal to 180% of attack to random enemy every 3 seconds. So what makes this kind of shit is 3 seconds is not that good. We have to scale attack for this to be good. However, fires one shot per 50% of attack speed. Guys, we can get someone's attack speed up to 10. So we could potentially do some very, very explosive damage. There's some wacky shit, dudes, that we could do with this. So it comes down to attack speed. So we'll have to kind of think about that. If I can it's pretty easy to get 500 attack speed on a dude. So, that balance is pretty interesting. Let's throw some calculators out. So, fires one shot, dealing this amount of damage per every 50% of attack speed. So 500 would be 10 shots. That's 10 shots. And physical normal damage equal to 180% of attack at random. So, it feels like it should be good if we can get someone's attack really, really high. So, some problems what makes it weak, in my opinion, weaker than it could be, is that swiftness heroes only. Dude, if this was like, if this was demoted to a air quote rare legacy and we didn't have this damn swiftness class restriction, I feel like this could be really, I could think of 1,000 things to do with it. So, with that being said, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heroes that this could go on, right? And what's interesting is, like, if we cycle through our heroes, we can look at the base attack. So our base attack for Hanzi is 71. Tiet's 148. Who's obviously, this might be who this is for. It feels like obvious. The artwork is there. Our attack speed with this hero, it's useless for her attack speed to be high. So, but our attack itself is pretty good, especially when you when you do these kind of things with the barbarian set's pretty good. So, Zhao Bai base attack is not the highest, but Zhao Bai has a higher base attack speed out of Hanzi's 125%. Zhao Bai's 125. Bami is kind of weak, pretty low base attack. And then I would never consider putting this on Raw Hawk. And then Armus, right? So Armus actually has pretty high attack, but the attack speed is fucking garbage. They nerfed him at some point, which I don't know why you would nerf this a D-list hero. So now we're out. All right. So technically, Zhao Bai, Hanzi, and Tia, right? That is what feels the most obvious for this legacy. Now, for Tia, if we do Tia, by the way, I should probably throw on this. Hello. For Tia, it's kind of obvious because she will keep herself alive with the avoid risk, which means that the every 3 seconds thing kind of makes the most sense. Dude, this orange color is throwing me off so bad, but I gotta do it because I don't want a crippling migraine again. But yeah, it's so let's go back. Deals physical normal damage equal to 180% of attack to a random enemy every 3 seconds. Fires 1 shot. So, does it make sense for us to... This feels like burst damage, right? This feels like a burst damagey thing. I mean, there's some applications I could see this working for. So, like, obviously, some people put Windset on her, and they focus on getting her attack speed as high as possible, and they don't even bother using Elos. And 180% of attack to random enemies every 3. I'm curious, does this happen at the start of battle? Because let's look at scope real quick. I'm just trying to figure out like layering, right? With relics. So scope designates blocks in the battlefield, and their normal attack damage increased by 400%. So I feel like there's a shot at scope being, a way to handle it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a hero lock Tia, and we'll start experimenting with do relics do things? Okay, I'm not gonna put anything else on Tia here. We're just gonna look at damage numbers, and let's just do a very basic hero lock build real quick. I'll pause this. Okay, so what I'm doing, guys, is I'm going to let's just do this. Yeah, we'll do this. No, I don't want final attack, though. We'll do this and greed. There we go. So what we're doing is I don't have any accessories on Tia whatsoever. I just have this thing. And what we're going to do is we're going to use Avoid Risk and Tia. We're going to do Hero Lock. And I have some food. We're going to be experimenting on Slime Round. Slime Round... Where's my Tia build? There we are. Slime Round hard. And I'm just going to be looking at damage numbers. First thing I'm going to look at is how much damage is that actually going to do. And then we'll start experimenting with relics and see if certain relics actually affect Elos. And then we'll be able to build from there. So as of right now, we are just using base. Okay. So let's just throw this down there and let's just see what the relic even does. What I'm really curious about is, does it? I'm not gonna bother with anything else. So let's just see. So we have 539 attack. So it should, and we have 1.6. So that's gonna be it'll do 3 shots. So let's just see what happens. Okay, it does immediately work. You see that? Did you see that? There were like 3 arrows that came out of her butt. And they did 970 each. You see? So they definitely scaled. So it was 970. So obviously the more attack speed I can get on her, the more of those arrows will happen. So it's taking the 539. Oh my goodness. It's taking the 539 and it's going like this. Times 0.1 times 1.8. Right? There's our 970. Okay? So that's 180. That's all it's doing. Okay, so with that being said, let's leave, let's surrender. And let's try different relics. Now, the first relic that I'm curious about is the knockback mace relic. So mace relic, my eyes are so tripped out by this red. Holy fuckballs. So there's mace relic. Now, it's going to give us 7%, right? It's going to give us 7% attack. That's just, I'm not going to put her over here. But that's okay. I'm curious, enhances the next normal attack by 70%. So let's see if that affects the Elos, and we'll find out. All right. So does it take this 970 and increase it by an additional 70%? That's going to be what we check out. So let's hit start. It seems to. What's our math? So 566. Okay, let's look. I think it's happening a little too fast for me. So let's look up here, and we're gonna hit start. I'm gonna see, is it 970 or what is it? I think it's 1700. I think it's scaling, dudes. There's 3 enemies. Let's look again. So interesting. So let's do this. We're gonna go like this, right? So 566. So 70 plus 180. So that would be 7 plus 18. That's 25. So 566 times 2.5. Oh my god. 2.5. That would be 1415, right? Let's see if it's 1415. No, it's 1700. That's super weird. I gotta see it again. It's hard to tell what's her damage and like what's the Elos's damage. There's Elos. So I see 17 and I see 1,000. So 1,000's probably just from that damage buff that we got. Is 17 a critical hit? I doubt it. So there's 1,055 there. Let's just look one more time. 17. And okay, so one of them, for whatever reason, is hitting for 17, and the others aren't. Maybe it's considered its first normal attack, because that fires before Tia even has a chance to do damage, right? So that means that very first hit is being done. So I think this is what's happening. I think it's 566, and it's increasing itself by times 1.8 at 180%, and then that's being increased times 0.7 plus there we go our 118. That's our 1731. So the very first Elos bolt, not all of them, the very first Elos bolt to hit, because it's being considered normal damage, is being affected by the mace, but not all of them. So let's hit start. So the first one hits over here for 17, but the other one over here only hit for 1,000. So that could be pretty fucking strong. The problem is it's kind of unreliable, because only one of those is big damage. So that's interesting. Okay, let's leave. So that it might answer my question about scope. So let's throw scope down instead. Now I'm gonna purposely put Tia on a place where she will not benefit from the attack speed. But I have a feeling this is what we're gonna see. We're gonna see the 1,018 and the 970, excuse me, and we're gonna see that times 4. I have a feeling that only one of the bolts will do 3,880. That's what I think scope's gonna do. So let's get back in there, and I want to find the pieces, and then we'll think about like how do we get the most damage out of the pieces, right? So we'll get our tier 3. Oh, we got a tier 3. I want to keep it all tier 3. And so what I'm expecting to see is one of those 3 bolts hitting at 3,800. Okay, I see 26. Let's see. I saw one 4,800. If my math is off, her attack is still here. Where does 3,800 come from? Where does 4,800 come from? It certainly isn't. It certainly isn't from her. It might be from her ability. No, dude, it's hitting for 4,800. So that math is going 400%. That's weird. I don't think it's coming from the bolts, dude. I think that's coming from her bow. Let's look again. Let's look one more time. 1, 2, 3 bolts. Oh no, the bolts are hitting for 4,800, I think. Yeah. It's crazy. I'm gonna wait till the whole damn field is full of slimes. And I wanna like watch like 2 or 3 times. I wanna see it hit 2 or 3 times. There was 48 once. And then that was not 48. Let's see. I need more slimes. 48 hits. I see the 970s. The 970s are definitely the Elos for sure. 48. Oh, she jumps off of scope, so it'll never happen again. Okay. Interesting. Obviously it's possible that the scope is definitely causing 4800. Where's 4800 coming from? Have +4 range, and their normal attack damage is increased by 400 for the first and every 5th attack. It's interesting. So we are getting 400%. Maybe it's interesting. Increased by 400%. So 970 times 4 plus 970. Oh, there you go. That's what's happening. Yep, there's your 48. There's your 48. So it's doing an additional. It's not okay. So this verbiage is actually lies. It's not increased by 400%. It does an additional 400%. So that this wording, this Korean translation to English, that's not what's actually happening. So it's an additional. An additional 400% is different than an increase of 400%. So just throwing that out there. All right, man. 48. So technically, we could be doing some damage. Now the problem with scope and Tia is Tia hops off of the scope. She only hops off if she's in danger. We could look at Breeze, right? If there are no targets for Gus within 3 range, the first arrow of Gus will push the target back, right? Avoid risks. She's going to jump off. She's going to jump off scope. So anything that's going to affect her damage, I mean, obviously, increases damage by 6% per distance for all normal / skill attacks. So let's just drop this on here, and let's see if we're going to get 36% increase on her Elos. Now the difference on this one is it will be all of them. It'll be all of them. So it'll be 36% on every single one, opposed to at max, opposed to just one of them getting the benefit. So let's have a look and see how that works. So we have Tia. She's not getting any benefits from anything aside from our penetrating spear. And let's do penetrating spear only. And let's ride. So what I'm expecting to see is an increase from 970 times 0.36. So 970, I'm expecting 19 on all of them. So it was 1261. Interesting. Let's see. It is definitely all of them, but watch once the enemies are closer to her, it's not as beneficial. And 1319 would be the max, but it's firing it, it's not counting it at full max. All right, so 1261 is not bad. It definitely is an increase, and it definitely affects Elos, right? So if you had a row of chunky boys, right, getting in the way, Tia would benefit from that. It's not a massive increase. It's not a game-breaking increase. Okay, so let's retreat and let's start looking at other ways we could break Tia. So scope will get you 400% on the first Elos to one person. And if we can keep her on scope, that would just keep happening. Okay. Shock Trooper's mace, it's one Elos bolt will get an additional 70 every 3 seconds. It doesn't feel that strong. It could be, possibly, as we stack our stats. This is probably not worth it, right? So, the obvious things would be like Fear Relic as Tia is continuing to survive. Fear Relic is just going to be stacking final damage. I mean, that's an obvious one for her. Another obvious one for her would be like Rapid Swords of Binding, because as we increase all of those attack speeds, we would be getting like lots of bolts. So like one obvious one would be like Rapid Swords combined with Penetrating Spear for that final bonus, and something else that might increase attack for her, right? Like that feels like kind of an obvious way to go. I mean, the one that would make the most sense in this case would be Mace, because Mace would give her knockback, and then you would have lots of Tias, and lots of Tias avoiding risk. It would not be a tremendous amount of damage initially, but what we could do is start looking at, and I would have to make a mace that put the attack damage here, or maybe do an attack speed mace. Attack speed mace might be the way. And then we got to figure out, okay, like she has 45 MP, so you put a Bardry on the field so that she's just exploding mana, or you throw you do a Bardry, and I don't know, and we'll figure out the rest. All right, let's see. So, where did we leave off? I had someone walk in my little recording studio here. Let's figure out where do we go from here? Do we go in so I don't think critical chance is really, I mean, it might be the way to go. Physical normal damage equal to? I don't think so. What could we do does it make sense for us to think about special damage in this case? So let's just do this. Go here. Let's go to special damage. Special damage is increased or reduced according to its relevant value. Special damage refers to any white damage derived from physical or spell damage. The amount of special damage is proportion to the physical or special damage that was originally dealt. Effects that increase special damage can be obtained from accessory options. So perhaps the key might be Windset on this. Now, does Windset tank attack? I hope it doesn't. I forget. I keep doing dumb things because I are dumb. Well, let's just look at this. Hello, can I please look at the stats? So it does fuck your final attack, but does 20% special damage to 2 targets upon dealing normal damage. It's interesting. It's interesting. So you would kind of have a pseudo ricochet effect. But it does fuck your final attack. We do get the additional 60% attack speed, so that does give us an extra bolt. The biggest issue, in my opinion, in this whole thing is the 3 seconds problem. The 3 seconds problem means that if a round is 30 seconds, we really only get to do this thing 10 times. So it's going to be 10 times whatever our Elos DPS is. It's a little tough, man. Like, we obviously want to get our attack jacked up as high as we can, and we could do that. We could do that with Lunaire, Mono. I mean, another option is you put a bunch of Lunaires in the field with a bunch with Sanctums, and everyone's just getting. And then you use like winds, like the sword of rapid binding thing. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, so in order for like the special damage thing to be good, like better, you need to be hitting lots of enemies at once. That's no problem during Strife, but I don't know if the damage will ever be high enough. Alternatively, what you could look at is we could look at Barbarian set. And we do have after using a skill. So we would get this gives our Elos a bit more balls. But this doesn't specifically help Elos in any other way. So perhaps not. So perhaps Windset is the way to go. I have a pretty decent Windset that's basically full of special damage. And so let me like seek out that. So this one has the additional attack built into it as well. But I think in order for this to be the best, you would go double earrings. So now our special damage is so fucking high. And also remember, we're using Elos, dude. So Elos is going to give us 150%. But yeah, so that's pretty good. And then I do believe I have a very high special damage. This is 4% special damage. This is actually really good because you have the special damage and you have the attack buff. And I believe this is attack crit because my screen is orange, so I can't tell. But I feel like this is really good. I'll just level it up. This is actually, I rolled this recently, so I haven't seen it. I haven't seen this yet. Oh, this one has attack speed, but that's not bad. And then we would want like a special damage and defense, both physical and this is ideal. This has just spell. So let's try to do special damage and physical defense. The out of the three, this one might be better because it has 80 baked in, but this one gives me well, this I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll do that for now. And then I do have this is my best one here. This is already at 20. And we do get some more special here. So the question is going to be, do I have enough accessory stones to make this good? I think I don't. Damn. But you know what? I have been playing a lot of Strife. So I can cash in all my Strifey dudes. This is not what I wanted to click on. Everything looks the same because it's red. Alright. Yeah, 152. That's more than enough to max out 2 legacies. God. Accessories. There's so many things. We got relics. And I'm dyslexic, right? I'm like the kind of dyslexic where I say the wrong word. You know? God forbid I ever have to go to court. Guilty or innocent? Guilty! I mean innocent. So this is really good. I think this is a solid win set legacy. And let's max out this one. I do not want much on guard. This is not great. This is not a great one. I want lots of this things. We're gonna put all of our jalopies on here, guys. We're gonna put all of our jalopies on this motherfucker. Let's try it. I want lots of physical defense, and I want lots of special damage. Nope. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. 200. 140, and we have lots of special here. Isn't the worst. So our total, of course, I have to max this out real quick. That's okay. Okay, not bad. Okay, and let's max this one out. Not change. Excuse me. Excuse me, sir. This has everything except for spell power, which I don't care about. I really would like to see it on... we get one more roll. Attack. Okay, it's not bad. So we are now pretty maxed, and this is also why I play Strife. You want to know why I play Strife? Because 5 to 6 games of Strife means you get to max out like 2 or 3 accessories. So, our final numbers are 82 special damage, 44% attack, 27% attack speed, and we have some air quote decent special physical and spell defense. We do have a void risk, so take that for what it's worth. And there are some other ways I can get defense with guard and things like that. But this is pretty freaking solid. So the question becomes, what does that look like now? Okay, so I'm going to take off all the things. And I'm just going to look at what the accessories do. Now, keep in mind, I'm aware that I do have higher attack. I want to see what special damage actually does for us. So we're going to go back in. We're going to go back in here. We're going to bring our Tia, who has some stats. And we're going to look at what the special damage really... I mean, I'm going to assume special damage is super good for her. But let's get it going. Okay, so there's our Tia. She has 602. Okay, so I know that 602 times 1.8, we're gonna have 1083 as our Elos damage, and we're gonna see 4 of those little lightning bolts. Okay, and we're just gonna look. I need to see a lot of creatures. Are we getting special damage from those? Interesting. I want to see if the Elos is benefiting from special damage. It appears like it's not. I need a lot more people though. I think that she might benefit from special damage. But I don't think that Elos is benefiting from it. I'm just going to keep doing that. So here's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at this damage bar, and when the Elos hits, I'm waiting to see. Before she does her first attack, I'm waiting to see. I'm trying to see if that first volley does special damage on my thing here. It doesn't appear to do that. Okay, I'm gonna look one more time. I think it's just the damage. I mean, it's significant. It's significant damage. It's not like it's not. So out of 10,000 damage, Elos is responsible for a little over 3,000 of it. So 3,000 is coming from Elos, and then everything else is coming from Tia. So now we are having 15% reduced damage, but we're kind of making up for it with the win set. I wish I could get a breakdown of just what Elos is doing. So I would say that's 4,000. Interesting. Interesting. So I think I'm ready to start trying to build a team. Perhaps let's experiment with a wind sword. So we'll retreat here. And let's start doing some minor experimenting. Does my Gaith have anything on her? Oh, Jesus. My entire team is not My Bardry should be decent. Okay, so we have a Bardry. Let's start trying to figure out how to take advantage of the damage. So, interesting. All right, give me a moment, guys. All right, guys. So we're going to do a hero lock. I'm really only going to use Bardry in Lunaire. The rest of my team is going to be Tias, lots of Tias. So we're just gonna see like what the damage potential is for Elos. We are using the same accessory set. I've decided that perhaps because we're gonna have upwards of 5 Tias, that knockback might be better than breeze, because we should be knocking enemies away. That would be the idea. Bardry, in this case, this is not a build by any means, but at the very least, Bardry has lots of guard on her, so Bardry should make my Tias a bit more durable, and Bardry should help with the MP. Now, the one thing that I have not checked is does the normal attacks contribute to the MP when they hit? Because, whenever you hit somebody, you generate a little MP. I'm wondering if these contribute to MP, because that would be kind of cool. With that being said, we do have attack speed on Tia. Tia's going to be chilling at... she'll probably be doing 6 shots out of the box, and we'll be getting attack speed from Rapid Swords. So with that being said, I'm going to choose... we're going to try to do Void Elf. Void Elf at very hard. This should be challenging, yet not impossible. And we will give this a shot. I don't really have a... Listen, this isn't a very strong build. I'm not pushing too hard, and half of my backup heroes don't even have accessories on them. So I'm really putting myself in a bottleneck where I have to make it work with Tia, or I just get to cry. So let's get this going. And let's just see what Elos is capable of by itself, with some win sets, and see if win set mixed with lots of Tias is what we need to do. So we should be able, yeah. So we'll do this. This is a lot of Tia. So 5 is max Elos. So we have max Elos on here. So Elos is going to do 15 of those bolts. We're going to get 10, 10, and 10. So 15 bolts are going to fire right now. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. It looks cool. We have that going for us. I will throw a Bardry in the front line. And roll. Shit is dead pretty quick. I mean, we're only playing hard. Lots of special attack. Listen, it's not as strong as like it's pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, it's not terrible. It is pretty good. Well, let's get a double Bardry. Oh, I don't have Insta Lunaire. I would need Insta Lunaire, so maybe I don't use Lunaires. We would want like Insta Lunaire. This is pretty damn strong though, guys. Decline. I might have been better off like... Oh, cool. Here's another one. I might have been better off doing a harder one. I don't think so. We won't get any additional benefit on Tia having more bows. So I'm gonna throw it on Bardry, but we do get benefits of Tia having swords. And I'll probably give us a 5th tier Tia, and she's going to do a lot of damage. It's gonna be, so mathematically it's 2,000. It's gonna be this times 18, so about 2,000 times 10. So she's gonna be doing instantly as soon as the fight starts. About is it 10th? 2,000 times 10, so that's 20,000 damage instantly at the start of the fight. So right away, 20,000 damage happens like instantly from her alone. So 6,000 of it is her attack, 20,000 of it is Elos. 40,000 of it's Elos, I think. Yeah, I believe. I think I'm talking all over the place. Pretty good. Let me start selling. I don't have any equipment on any of these backup heroes. So for me, I'm just hunting for these. Cool. So this brings us our 6th Tia. So now we have all the attack speed, and we have... Oh, what I'm not counting on is we're getting damage bonuses because of Swords of Binding. So that exists. Okay. I think Bargery insta-dies. But I'll try to keep Bargery not insta-dying. Okay. Fuck, dude. It's not hundreds of thousands. It's not millions of damage. But it's not millions of damage. If that makes sense. So we'll just focus on giving her as much damn swords as possible. Keep Bargery going. Does she get any benefit by having spell power? No, 0. So it all just goes here. Right? Sure. Merge these two. And holy crap, dude. The knockback is super good too. So it definitely is kind of an interesting burst damage thing. I wish I would have correctly set Lunera up. Interesting. So I had somebody kind of tell me that Elos is not great PvE, but I think it might be okay PvE. I mean, we'll do some corruption rounds too, guys. Like I'll do a full test. You know, this might have to span multiple videos, because there's just so much to check out. And I'm not using my backup heroes efficiently either. Like I think there's just so much individual little points of damage happening, and the damage is happening very fast, like very very fast. With the appropriate tanks, you know, it could be quite devastating. I'm definitely going to be trying this in Strife Battlefield for sure. I'll throw Bargery up here again. Interesting. Yeah, with Lunaires on people, it could be quite strong. The knockback is super good too, man. I'm kind of just like, fuck it. Let's just keep putting Tias out. So every Tia is just another guaranteed, like, 10,000 damage instantly. Like, even our weakest Tia is bringing 14,000 damage to the table. Dude, I wish my Lunaire was insta. Oh, okay. Oh, car.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna try to go for the strongest Tia I can, just because I know that we get to. I don't know if we get. Do we get dummy after we kill this boss? I think we do. All right, let's have a look. So it's a pretty good amount. It's a lot of fast damage. It's a lot of fast damage, man. It's interesting. I don't think it would do well in Strife. I mean, maybe I would have to have like a lot of battlefield disruptors, for sure. I'm already an hour in. Let's do something a little bit. We'll do the hardest Void Elf invasion. We'll do it at King, and I'm gonna have to use this for the video. I do not think we're going to do well. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do well, but let's just see if Tia herself can put enough damage up. That doesn't mean that we can't. Like, honestly, if I put Aphelias out there with Fear Set or Taysons or something, like, I think it could be significantly even stronger. But, like, this could be really good with the right build still. Because we could expose weakness and rip defenses off, and all of that damage would just get bigger. Okay, so it's still pretty effective, guys. It's still pretty effective. It's still pretty effective. Holy shit, super good. We'll throw another Tia out there. I got my first Bargery. Dude, we might be able to clear this. I don't think so, right? Bargery. Pretty interesting. I'll take the silver. I'll obtain the flag. Yeah, that's actually really good. I don't want anything else. I'll expand. I'll expand once. Sell, sell, sell. Other Tia. This goes on Bargery. This goes on Bargery. This goes on Bargery. Alright, let's do it. Okay, so these guys, these pains in the asses that heal, we're fucking them up. The battlefield control is pretty strong. Yeah, if I was stripping defense, dude, if I was stripping defense, this could even be better. Interesting. You know how devastating this would be in PvP? I kind of understand where like Athena fits in, because this would stop your entire team. That knockback is very strong. Let's sell this, expand, throw a second Bargery out there. Bargery is just here to add defense, add guard to everybody, and pop that extra pushback. I would rather have a Tia though than Bargery number 2. And let's just give more initial attack. Cool. So we are getting there. Interesting. Right, let's roll. Is this enough? Is this enough? It might be. Wow, I am sort of shocked. That Bargery is so dead. So dead. Insta kill Bargery. The knockbacks. The knockbacks are actually really strong. Alright. Well, someone said that Elos is bad PvE, but I think it's not terrible. I mean, Naria would be clearing this in a split second, but it's hard to compare broken things. You know what I mean? Like that's a broken. The barbarian set exploit is broken, like 100%. This is still broken, but it's just not as broken, right? Let's keep doing this. I'll probably drop that here. Our big Tia almost pulled a mill damage. Like when Martias aren't even able to get hit. That's like another thing. That's another thing to consider. Like there's some interesting utility happening. I would be curious to see how we would handle Elador. It's very disruptive. Our main Tia is doing a considerable amount of damage. Holy balls, man. Just some Bargeries and Tias, and you could pretty much take on like... I mean, this is not an easy level. This is Corrupt. This is Corrupt 12. Alright? It's the easiest of the corrupted chapters. But it's not easy. These guys have a lot of HP. As you can see. We're having to do a lot of damage. So let's just look at the HPs for a second. Sword's better. Like 147,000, a quarter mil, almost a quarter mil, right? It's pretty high. Yeah, we're getting it done, man. I'm gonna have to reply to that guy who said Elos is not PPE and be like, beg to differ. Holy shit. I'm kind of sleeping through this, man. We're kind of sleeping through it. Oh shit. I sold one of my Tias without having a replacement Tia. There's a replacement Tia. I would really appreciate a right-click sell. Or like an auto sell. Auto sell would be so good. Like if there was a little square right here and you just throw a unit on it, and if it ever pops, it just auto sells. That'd be great. Alright. Tias, do your jobs, man. Holy crap, dude. Did we just become best friends, Tia? Did we just become best friends? I think we just became best friends. I gotta do this on Strife. Can you imagine this? Like 20 Tias basically pinning back all the enemies into the back corners. It's absolutely crazy. You would get, I think you would get pretty screwed by bosses, but yeah, one more time I had to get interrupted here, but it's okay. We're gonna roll. Let's see what kind of damage we're doing. Dude, Tia's pouring it on, man. Huh.
Huh. Dude, if we had some exposed weakness, it's 10 million damage, dude. A lot of that special damage. Okay. Guys, I think it's good. I think it's good. I'm gonna stop this now. This video has been an hour long. I think Elos test successful. I think it's really freaking good. I think that Tia with Breeze is solid. So Windset, Elos, Breeze, Swords of Rapid, right? Void Relic, though, adding another 210% attack. I think that would be another way to make her even better. She doesn't multiply like other people do, right? And it would take like 4 or 5 seconds. But the second and third volley of Elos, maybe the third volley of Elos, so 7 seconds in, would benefit from Void being an option. So I think it can work. I think that it's better. I think it would be better than this final damage. So I'm gonna give that a shot. I might do that as a live stream. So, because that's how I do now. But let me get this video uploaded and I'll start a live stream, guys. All right, I'll talk to you soon.